Hey everybody, this is No Bones About Wrestling. This is Monday Night Russo. I'm one of your hosts, Asa. Hey, how's it going? My co-host Switch will be along in a couple minutes here. And so on Mondays, what we do now is we're watching the Vince Russo era of WCW Monday Nitro. So last week we watched October 18th, 1999, his first Nitro. He did that, and then he did Halloween Havoc, his first pay per view. And Switch has some notes about that, and he'll share those with us when he gets here. And now tonight we're doing his second Nitro. So at the end of Halloween Havoc, the world title ended up vacated. So on this Nitro, we're starting a 32-man tournament for the WCW World Title, and it is going to end at the next pay per view, WCW Mayhem, which was their November pay per view. I think Switch is here.
Yeah, dude, that shit hit the back of my throat. What's good, bro? Mind the look and the sweatiness just came in.
Oh, you're all right. You look good. You're more lit up than usual.
Tried to make it a point to be a little more lighter this time.
Yeah, I can see you. so, so hey, real quick, we got a comment here. Oh, Eric, what's up? He says, I think WWE needs to move the PLE to the Performance Center this weekend. I think they need to move it somewhere, that's for sure. All this, everything going on, I don't think they need to be flying over to Saudi Arabia this weekend. No.
Nope.
No. But that's a different thing. That's a whole nother ball of wax, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just hope everything turns out as good as it can. So, but yeah, so I was just talking about Nitro tonight. We got the world title tournament starts, and then the big question: what's up with Jeff Jarrett? He showed up. He smashed Buff Bagwell with a guitar. He left Miss Elizabeth. She was found in the dressing room with a guitar smashed beside her. We don't know if Jeff Jarrett did it. We assume he did, but we're not sure. And so I was saying we had Halloween Havoc the night before. Switch, can you tell us real quick what happened at Halloween Havoc?
So at Halloween Havoc 1999, we opened up with Disco Inferno as the Cruiserweight champion against Lash LaRue, which he won. Then we had a 4-way tag team match where pinfalls count anywhere against, it was Harlem Heat, the Filthy Animals, Conan and Billy Kidman, the First Family, Brian Knobbs, and Hugh Morris. I'm sorry, it was a three-way match for the tag match. And Harlem Heat won that, and nothing really special went on there. Eddie Guerrero versus...
Let me interrupt you real quick. So Harlem Heat won the titles back?
Yes.
All right, because we just saw them lose them last week here on Monday. Okay.
Exactly. Okay. So Harlem Heat won them back. And then we move on to Eddie Guerrero versus Perry Saturn. That ended in a DQ. Nothing special happened there. Then we had Brad Armstrong against Berlin, which it surprised me that Brad Armstrong beat Berlin. At the end of the match, Berlin and Wall beat down Brad Armstrong, and that was basically the end of that. Then we had
big upset.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, big upset there.
Yeah, big upset. Then for the WCW World Television Championship, we had Rick Steiner against Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit is the champ at this time. Rick Steiner defeats Chris Benoit, but there was a run-in by Dean Malenko, and he hit Chris Benoit with the chair, assuring himself that he was aligning with the Revolution. The total package against Bret Hart. Bret Hart through the whole match was addressing his knee, his leg being hurt. The total package won this match with a single leg Boston Crab. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he beats Bret Hart with that. And then we have some controversy coming up where we have the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, Sting against Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's music plays. He doesn't come out. Then Sting's music plays. He comes out. They go back to Hulk Hogan's music. He comes out, but he's not dressed in his wrestling gear. He's dressed in jeans, the black vest he usually wears, and it looks like some regular shoes. He gets in the ring, whispers something to Sting, and then lays down something that I had forgot about. It's not really talked about much, but he
Yeah.
laid down for Sting, a quick 1-2-3, and walks out. Did you want to say anything about that?
I mean, yeah, it was just we've heard a lot about the Hogan thing at Bash at the Beach that happened in 2000, but you don't hear as much about this one, which was another interesting deal because we just saw on Monday Buff Bagwell, knew he was going to lose, and so he went away from the script, and it's hard to explain things because they go back and forth between reality and the script so much. So that's why I'm doing the air quotes, is to just keep it straight. What in the script is referred to as the script. So, anyways, my point is Buff Bagwell, we saw him lose to La Parka and kind of in lackadaisical, manner. He just went through the holds in the match and it was kind of this and like that and
Right.
this. Lost to La Parka, and that was what the script called for. So here Hogan is losing to Sting. That's what the script calls for from Vince Russo. So Hogan comes down and just lays down because he doesn't like the script.
Doesn't
And this
work for
was
me, brother.
doesn't work for me, brother. And so this is Vince Russo's way to get Hogan off of television. Which he wanted Hogan and Flair off of television. And I don't know if you're going to talk about Flair in a minute. And for those of you watching, we haven't started the watch along yet. You're not lost. We're just talking about, real quick, we're talking about what happened at Halloween Havoc the night before what we're watching tonight, which tonight we're watching Nitro, October 25th, 1999. But we're talking about Halloween Havoc
Just
just
to keep
real
y'all
quick.
updated.
Yeah. So go ahead,
Yep.
sir. Just go ahead.
So from there, we went to the WCW United States Heavyweight Championship, where Sid Vicious is the champ, and he is going against Goldberg. Sid Vicious earlier had got busted up backstage by Goldberg, and in this match, it was a lot of blood. Sid Vicious was bleeding like a stuck pig. I mean, bleeding everywhere, so much that the referee had to stop this match and call Goldberg to win it. So Goldberg wins the United States Heavyweight Championship by a referee stoppage. And that was pretty much it for that match. Sid Vicious didn't agree with the stoppage. He was in there like he still wanted to go and stuff. But that was that. Then we come to a strap match with Diamond Dallas Page and Ric Flair. This was a doozy. It was a doozy, but it didn't seem like Diamond Dallas Page was too worried about the things that Ric Flair had supposedly done to Kimberly, giving her 14 spankings, which at the time he had won the heavyweight championship 14 times by then. So, but that's a whole nother thing. But in this match, Diamond Dallas defeats Ric Flair. Really wasn't nothing too much glorious. Was there anything you wanted to put on there? I know Ric Flair is one of your guys.
Again, they're just getting him off TV because Russo. Sorry, I'm eating here. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
What Russo said. He said Hogan and Flair. He was trying to find a place for them. He said he thought they had a place on the show, but it wasn't the main event because they were so old.
Mm-hmm.
Had been around so long. Is how he put it.
Yeah.
And because you can't say it's because they're old or you'll get sued. So that was his deal. He claims he was trying to get them off TV until he figured out how he did want to use them in the card. And you can you're probably telling us next how he got Ric Flair off of TV.
Oh yeah. So suppose the Filthy Animals, which is heavily in this daggone pay-per-view, they basically hijacked the ambulance that Ric Flair is getting loaded into after the strap match and basically kidnaps him. Now, to where I didn't catch that part, I don't know if you had caught on where they had took him to, or they just kidnapped him out the ambulance.
They kidnapped him, and I forget where Halloween Havoc was, but wasn't it usually in Vegas during these years? I could be wrong about where it was. but they took him out to the desert and buried him alive.
So I don't think the buried alive came. Maybe the buried alive might come tonight because I
Oh, that
just
didn't
had it
happen
as
yet. Okay.
they just kidnapped him.
Okay.
That's what I had in my notes. So maybe they haven't done. Maybe that's what we'll get a preview of tonight.
Okay.
And
Excuse me.
then
Excuse me then.
all good, all good. And then finally Sting comes out and says he came here to fight. Now remember, Sting is supposed to be a bad guy, but of course everybody's there cheering for him. But he comes back out and it's like this whole thing was bullshit. He wants a match and just challenges an open challenge. And of course the music hits and everybody's Goldberg, Goldberg. Goldberg comes out. Now the crazy thing about this match, before the match started, the announcers and the ring announcers stated that this was not a title shot match. This was just a straight up one-on-one match. No title on the line. Goldberg defeats Sting, and the ref gives him the title. He celebrates in the ring like he's the champ, and they even announce him as the new World Heavyweight Champion. And the pay-per-view goes off from there with a bunch of controversy. And I would also like to say, man, watching back that pay-per-view with the eyes now, I had to put myself back into Young Switch. This stuff is everywhere, man. Vince Russo, he kind of had something like you had to question everything. Was this a work? Was it not? Back then, everything was real to me back then as Young Switch. Watching it now, it's like, dang, even now, like, is that what work? Was that part of storyline? Is this work? Is that storyline? So I'm all over the place with this right now with Vince Russo. And we're only into what, 2 shows that he didn't took over for so far?
Right.
So yeah, that's where we're at with that. That was Halloween Havoc 1999.
And so thank you for recapping for us. And real quick, we're gonna start in a minute, and y'all out there. So get October 25th, 1999 Monday Nitro. Go to Peacock, get it queued up. It's Monday Nitro season 5.
Episode
And
42.
Thank you. Episode 42. October 25th, 99. But I just want to add one more thing real quick. So whatever happened with Goldberg and Sting, as Switch said, there was some controversy there. I don't know if it was declared on the internet or we opened the show this way or what happens, but the world title gets vacated. And I already mentioned it. Tonight we're starting a 32-man tournament for the vacant world title. And it comes to an end at their next pay-per-view, WCW Mayhem, which we will do a watch-along for that pay-per-view. Unlike Halloween Havoc, which we did a watch-along for like last year, 2 years ago. Go check it out if you want to. It's on YouTube. But that's why we didn't do one, because we've done it already for Halloween Havoc 99. But K Fabulous made me a big bracket to use, and she didn't show me how to use it. So we won't be taking advantage of that tonight.
I tried, but it wouldn't let me click on anything. It opened, but I couldn't click and put anything in there.
Oh, really? You were supposed to be? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was able to open it. I saw all 4 brackets, but when I tried to go in and actually put something on it, it wouldn't let me do it.
See, I need now. Fuck. I should have just hooked up the computer. I'm sure I could have figured it out, but I didn't hook up the computer. I'm just using the phone, so oh well. We'll use it next time.
Yep, we got it.
But we have a big bracket for you to see
bracket
next week. Yeah. So it's gonna be a fun tournament. We got that going on. And one other thing I'll mention is standards and practices got pretty strict starting not yet, but actually kind of starting November 1st of 99. They got pretty strict. But one weird standards and practices thing, if you watched Nitro with us last week, you saw the Outsiders, Hall and Nash, were drinking cough syrup the whole show, drinking NyQuil, they said it was, the whole show, and ended up drunk or high or whatever on cough syrup. And the reason they were drinking NyQuil instead of just drinking is that the Turner standards and practices said that they couldn't get drunk on the show. They didn't want them drinking alcohol. So Vince Russo, as a workaround of that, made them drink cough syrup, which is really weird whatever. I guess it achieved the same purpose. But I was reading that in the book, the great book by Guy Evans, Nitro. Uh, I recommend this to anybody who likes WCW. It's a thick book. It has a lot of information about WCW, the Nitro era, '95 through 2001.
Yep, and he also has a second book coming out beyond Nitro that is
I
basically a part two to that one. So yeah,
I
good
can't wait
read.
to read it. Can't
One of
wait
the
to read
best
it.
reads.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that happened with standards and practices. Uh, got some other stuff we'll talk about too.
Yeah, and
Um,
the Outsiders did make an appearance during the Goldberg and Sid Vicious match, and
uh,
won't no alluding drunkenness or nothing. It was just straight beat down, and then they left.
and that's a thing, also to mention, talk about the outsiders, just appearing during the Goldberg match. That's another thing Russo would do is have, besides kind of maybe break the lines down between, excuse me, between who's a face and who's a heel. He would also have guys in multiple feuds at once. We see Goldberg, kind of beefing with the outsiders. He's in this feud with Sid Vicious. He comes out and he's, fighting Sting at the end of the show. I mean, so you got Goldberg in these multiple feuds because they thought the Goldberg character, who was so hot at the time, they thought he could support it, and I think he could. And just to go back to something you said, yeah, that Halloween Havoc match with Goldberg and Sid for the U.S. title, that was bloody as fuck. That
Yes.
was Sid was about the bloodiest. If you like blood in your wrestling matches, go check that out. He was about the bloodiest I've ever seen in a wrestling match. Um, yeah, for real. So I don't know if he was supposed to be that way, if he cut himself too deep, what happened, but he was bloody as fuck. He was a
It
mess.
it was a mess, bro.
All right, one more thing before we start the show. Um, Switch and we're doing the top 10 wrestlers in WCW. We're doing it like it's live, like it's really happening now. So this is based on last week's Nitro we watched and based on Halloween Havoc, those two shows. And I'm going to read it real quick and we'll get started. Number 10, Eddie Guerrero, who lost in the triple threat on Nitro, lost to Chavo and Saturn, but still he's Eddie Guerrero, so he made the list. Number 9, the man who beat Buff Bagwell in the Shock last week on Nitro, La Parka. Number 8, the man who he lost his world television title, lost it to Rick Steiner at Halloween Havoc, but still, he's Chris Benoit, so he made the list. Number 8, one of the best wrestlers ever, despite all the terrible stuff. Still one of the best. Chris Benoit, number 8. Number 7, as I mentioned, he beat his Uncle Eddie and Saturn in a triple threat match on Nitro. Number 7, Chavo Guerrero Jr. Number 6, the man who has had Ric Flair trying to fuck his wife, and he won the strap match at Halloween Havoc. Number 6, Diamond Dallas Page. Number 5, because of the big upset, but you got to win on a pay-per-view, so that counts for a lot in my book. Number 5, Brad Armstrong, out of nowhere, number 5. Number 4, he got the win, as Switch mentioned, got the win over Bret Hart at Halloween Havoc. Injured Hart's leg and then made him submit, and that's number 4, Lex Luger. Number 3, kind of a surprise, but he won 2 matches. He won at Nitro, he beat Vampiro, and at Halloween Havoc, he beat Lash LaRue. So
That's right.
two
Show my
wins
boy
in
some
1 week.
love.
Disco Inferno, number 3, the Cruiserweight champion. Number 2 is Sting, who he beat Bret Hart on Nitro, and then beat Hulk Hogan at Halloween Havoc, and then lost the world title to Goldberg. But he was the world champion there for a little bit. Number 2, Sting. And number 1, the man who kind of dominated the past week. He beat somebody in the main event of Nitro. Who did he beat?
Who was that?
Goldberg beats. Who did he beat in the main event of Nitro?
Goldberg defeated
Lex Luger.
Lex.
So he
Yep.
beat Lex Luger at Nitro. He beat Sid for the U.S. title, at Halloween Havoc, and then he beat Sting for the world title. So he went 3-0 and won 2 belts. So he's definitely number one. So number one, Goldberg. Number 2, Sting. Number 3, Disco Inferno. Number 4, Lex Luger. Number 5, Brad Armstrong out of nowhere. Number 6, DDP. Number 7, Chavo Guerrero Jr. Number 8, Chris Benoit. Number 9, La Parca. And number 10, Eddie Guerrero. So if you hear me throughout the night talking about, oh, here comes number 10 or what, that's who I'm talking about. That's our rankings, the official No Bones WCW rankings from Switch and I.
Yep.
And we'll do that every week. And we're gonna get started after much ado. We didn't mean to keep you off that long, but usually we won't have a pay-per-view to recap like that.
Exactly.
But yeah, let's get started, y'all. So you should be on Monday Nitro, October 25th, 1999, and have it ready. And we're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play. You should see the WCW logo come on there. And we'll see what the hell's going to happen this week. You never know.
Not now, you don't.
Grand Strander. I don't know why I said this, but one morning I came in to open the Bing and you were throwing up in the toilet. Your hair was in the toilet water. Disgusting. I said my piece, Chrissy. That's as good an impression as I can do. It's
oh man.
Silvio from The Sopranos. I don't know why the Grand Strander shared that with us, but it's funny. It's one of my favorite Sopranos scenes. Here, what did I just miss? What happened?
Just Sting going off looking for somebody.
Okay. We are in Phoenix. Oh, I think what I was talking about with Flair might happen tonight.
Probably.
Oh, and here comes Sting. I love the amount of pyro WCW used to use.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that shirt. I like Sting's shirt.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Sting with no makeup or outfit.
Oh, that's not Sting. That's Steve. What, Steve Borden?
Yeah. I got my WCW merch on tonight. I got my Halloween Havoc cap.
I see you.
I should go get my WCW fanny pack.
Oh, that's who he was looking for.
Calling out J.J. Dillon, who was, I forget what position he had with WCW at the time, but he was the manager of the Four Horsemen back in the day. That's how he's best known.
Yep.
And he was actually in the first or second War Games match. J.J. Dillon got his ass kicked.
I think he got hurt by Animal and Hawk in that thing.
I think you might be right. So yeah, everybody, thank you for joining us. Hopefully this Nitro's, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Last week's was, and then Russo did Halloween Havoc, so now he's got his feet wet a little bit in WCW. So we'll see what the hell he does on this one. And this is what Switch and I were talking about. The controversy at Halloween Havoc.
Mm.
No dip.
What are you trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that you've been stripped of the title last night to brutally attack the WCW official. The power to be a part of should no longer be the champion. Furthermore, we're starting a 32-man tournament right here tonight to determine who should be the new champion. You guys, I think that you guys are going wrong because they decided you were going and they give you the spot in the tournament. Well, JJ, you're the messenger. You wouldn't mind giving this message to me, right?
No, man.
Mm.
So belt's vacant. Stinger splash to JJ Dillon. And Sting's opponent in the first round, I don't think the match is tonight, but it could be. His opponent in the first round is Brian Knobbs, one half of the Nasty Boys. And here comes Goldberg.
There he go.
Oh! And you know what's funny is we're not watching Raw, obviously, but Goldberg's on Raw tonight, as I understand it.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I don't have any interest in that. I will watch Goldberg's retirement match, but we won't be doing a watch along for that or anything. But I will watch it. Him and Gunther. I'll check that out.
Poor Gunther.
Eric said JJ was a good heel manager. Yeah, I agree, Eric. One of the best. He was so slimy when he was with the Horsemen, like you wanted to hit him.
It just worked. They didn't need, most of the time people get managers because the talent is not good on the microphone.
Right.
But he didn't. Four Horsemen didn't need him, but he just fits so well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And so that's what Switch was talking about, where Goldberg was given the belt and Sting didn't like it, and then he attacked official Charles Robinson, Lil Nate, and that's why Sting got stripped of the title, because he attacked the referee. And Sting is still supposed to be a heel. People still cheering for him. But I think more people are cheering for Goldberg over Sting.
Yeah. 32 men.
Here's the card tonight.
Revolution also tonight. Bigelow takes on Norman Smiley. Look down the bottom there, Ray. Face Tony. They're both members of Filthy Animals. But this, don't forget, is for the World Heavyweight title. Sting will face North, I understand. And look at this. Look at the question.
I don't know if all these matches are tonight or what. I know the first 4 are tonight. I'm not sure about these others here.
Yeah.
I think maybe they are. I know there's like 11 or 12 matches tonight.
And David Flair, and also going to see the total package against Rich.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Not only to progress in the tournament, but also the title here tonight. Goldberg makes his breathtaking manhunt. And Brett the Hitman should never be getting into a wrestling ring. What do you think? This is too dangerous, but I want to see another big information. The creative team, powers to be, have said the outsiders must.
Oh, the outsiders versus mystery opponents. That's
We
probably
got in the
full of
cooler.
cough syrup.
Oh man, that's Mike.
Said what?
That's Mike. I forgot his last name, but him and his family used to promote too. I want to say down in Florida with Dusty.
The guy who was talking to the outsiders?
Yeah, forgot his name. His family's, they done had some tragedy too, but I didn't know he was working for WCW around there. Let's see. Oh my goodness, they're actually giving me old commercials on here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Eric asked, did you like the new WCW stage that year? I know a lot of people hated it. Personally, I love it. I love the new logo. I know a lot of people criticize it because they say, well, you can't even tell what the fuck it's supposed to say. You know, you can't tell it says WCW. And I get that criticism, but I still love the way it looks. And I love the stage, yeah, with the stars behind it. You can see we kind of tried to recreate that with our set here tonight. We got the stars behind us and the WCW up here. So we tried to do it. Yeah, I love the entrance. What do you think, Switch?
Back then, I wasn't a fan of it, but looking at it now, it's not as bad as I thought it was. I think I'm just such a stickler for original stuff, old school. But looking at it, it's not that bad.
You like the Nitro set with like the metal around it?
Yes.
No, I got you. I mean, I like that one too. I like this one better, honestly. But that one is very, very nostalgic. Oh, this is the fucking WCW Mayhem video game. That was a piece of shit. There's a commercial for that.
That shit.
Tonight, the stakes are even higher. Part of the 32-man field vying for the WCW World's title, the big tournament.
Norman Smiley with a chance to be the world champion. Will it be Norman Smiley?
He's not the big wiggle yet.
When it's time. Like the rest of the big wiggle. I am big wiggle, and I am the toughest man I've ever seen.
He is the big wiggle.
He is the big wiggle. Okay.
World Heavyweight Championship Tournament.
Bam, bam.
Is that first Norman and Bam Bam?
That looks. Is that Bam Bam coming down?
Yeah.
Oh, Bam Bam was so small.
Yeah.
He looked so small.
Hmm. He does look smaller there than his WWF days.
Yeah.
Bam Bam Bigelow and Norman Smiley, two men who have no chance of winning this tournament at all. But here we go.
At all.
No. I don't mean to shit on either of them. I'm not saying they're not great. I'm just saying they're not winning the tournament. That's all.
Exactly.
We got our trash can full of weapons there. Bam Bam was on drugs back then. You can tell.
Yeah. And I couldn't remember if this is when Sting was going through his bad patch too.
I feel like he had become like a born again Christian by this point, Sting.
Okay.
I think so. Oh, and that broom was dirty. You see how that dirt fly off of it?
Just flew off of it.
They just took a broom from backstage or something.
They
didn't
pulled
even
that
go.
straight out the janitor's closet.
Yeah. But yeah, Sting, when he became a born again Christian, which is great. What did happen though was, he told some of the stories from the road and some of the things he did and some of the things his friends did, not in public, but like told them to his wife and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And one of his running buddies, was Lex Luger, and the stories, I believe, led to Lex Luger's divorce.
Mm.
And so Lex Luger and Sting had beef for a little bit. I think eventually, or not, I know eventually they squashed it, but they had beef for a little bit over all that. Norman Smiley, did he knock out Bam Bam? He knocked him out.
Wow. My guy, the big wiggle. The big wiggle. Just because it's him,
Norman Smiley heads to the round of 16.
So what he got in his hand now? Cuffing that joint hard too.
Yeah.
That's who it was, Mike Graham. Of course, y'all do that to me.
Did your stream get messed up?
No, my stream ain't messed up. I got ads and stuff, but I have a way to keep up with you. When it says 88, when it says 80 seconds, I just click it 8 times and I'm caught right back up with you when it comes back in.
All right. For those of you watching with us, we are watching Monday Nitro, October 25th, 99, and we are at 18 minutes and 40 seconds. Does that help when I do that? Does that help you?
Oh, always.
Okay. All right. Because it'll show you that time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And here, yeah, with the Filthy Animals mugged Ric Flair. Filthy Animals were all over Nitro last week and all over the Halloween Havoc pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Heavyweight champion 14 times. He demands some respect. He deserves respect. And then last night,
I thought I had in my notes that I thought somebody else in the Filthy Animals got hurt that at that pay-per-view. Let me just double check.
Oh, Ric Flair kissed Tori.
Yeah, it was Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio got hurt before the match last night. I mean, before the Halloween Havoc match.
Oh, like for real?
Yeah. So
Oh.
I guess I think they replaced him with Conan or Kidman. Who it must have been Kidman.
Here we
But
got the
yeah, the
Filthy
Filthy
Animals.
Animals are only down to 3. They're down to 3. Well, Ray's in there, but I guess he just can't
Hard to
wrestle.
serve it. Yeah. Like a Conan looking good. Tori Wilson looking better. Good God.
Them legs, boy.
Everything. She was one of the hottest women in wrestling to me.
I was infatuated with Stacy.
I like Stacy a lot too. Those legs are like impossible.
That's what did it for me.
How tall? I can't even explain it. Her legs are like as tall as I am, you know?
Yeah. Gosh, that is such a good faction right there. Everybody in that faction can wrestle. You got Eddie Guerrero, Billy Kidman. I think Asa just went out for a second. He'll be back with us. Trust and believe. They are really Russo, I'm going to say. Russo is really pushing the Filthy Animals.
All right.
Yep, so here we go. Yeah, they didn't give this to us at Halloween Havoc.
Oh, Kidman was showing off his video camera.
Uh-huh. The KC cam.
Oh, yeah.
Get this damn fly.
Yeah, so this is what I was referring to. This is how they write Ric Flair off of television.
Yep.
Which this is fucked up. This is crazy.
Which, another thing that happened during that DDP and Ric Flair match was freaking crazy. DDP hit the diamond cutter, I think, and Charles Robinson counted 1, 2, and stopped, and then the bell rung. And him and DDP just, I think they really did fuck up, was just looking at each other. And then Charles Robinson was like, yeah, the match is over.
Yeah.
DDP looked so disgusted in that match.
Like at the ending, you mean? Or?
Yeah.
Well, that messes up the pop, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But like I said, man, earlier, with Vince Russo, man, right now, I'm like, damn, what is real and what is not? So that even had me double guessing myself.
Yeah, with DDP, I hear you. When eventually, we haven't gotten there yet, but eventually Russo shows up as a character on the show. He's behind a desk, and he's the powers that be. And I think you just see his arm, like reaching out from the desk.
Yep.
I don't even think you see the back of his head or anything. You just see his arm.
You see nothing.
But it's Vince Russo talking, and he's called the powers that be. And then after that, he becomes a character. He becomes himself on TV, but that's a little ways down the road. So we'll get there. When I was
I
a
don't know what
kid,
the
I
hell
didn't
that is
see.
either.
Do what?
I don't know what the hell that is Dean got out there either. Damn, Tori is built, yo.
When I was a kid, I did not like Rey Mysterio acting that way.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Here, Revolution comes out. Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn. Is Shane Douglas out there? I just see Malenko and Saturn.
Yeah, that's it for right now. You know Dean gonna have to make an appearance. This fly lands, I swear to God. I got the most annoying fly right now, just flying around, just doesn't want to land. I'm trying to get 500 points.
Oh, there's Shane Douglas.
Yep.
And Asia.
The answer to China.
Yep.
One of my favorites of all time.
Oh yeah, me too. So here, yeah, this week is when they get the powers that be expression going, you know, which I like. That's smart. If you're going to talk about them, if you're going to talk about the writers, that's a good way to refer to them, I think.
Talk your shit, Mr. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. And what's crazy is Kurt Hennig at this point has still never had and he never did. He never won a world title, which is
not in WCW or WWE. Nah, never.
Insane to me.
Yeah, that.
He's the best wrestler. Either he or Scott Hall actually are the best wrestlers to never hold a world title. And I would say Mr. Perfect.
Yeah. But Perfect got caught in that Hogan era.
Exactly.
He got caught in that Hogan era. That's what I tell people when it comes to basketball. Like a lot of people that didn't get championships during Michael Jordan's era, I was like, it was part of that Jordan era, man. You had a lot of greats. Reggie Miller, Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning at that time, the Knicks, Barkley. A lot of guys didn't get rings because of Jordan. And that's how it was for a lot of guys, and especially WWF, because I thought Rick Rude could have been a world champion.
Oh, definitely. In WWF, definitely. He finally won it in WCW, Rick Rude, but he could have been in WWF, no doubt.
Oh, I'm going to have to, I just thought about one. I'm going to have to, Perfect would be my second when it comes to not having a title. I got to put Rowdy up there. Rowdy would be my number one.
Wait, didn't he win the WCW world title?
Okay, so you counting WCW? I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm counting both.
I'm ready. Piper in his prime. I
hear you.
So who we have here? Lash LaRue.
So Kurt Hennig versus Lash LaRue. Another first round match. We're down to 31 competitors in the tournament.
Did you ever really keep up with ECW when Shane Douglas was on top?
Not when he was on top, no.
Okay.
Well, a little when he was on top, yeah. I started watching it kind of right at the end of his big reign as world champion.
Okay.
Because I started watching ECW in like 1998.
Oh, okay.
Now I've seen ECW before then now, but
Yeah,
back then I didn't start till like 98. Yeah.
got you. So yeah, you was coming in on the tail end of that then.
hmm Yeah, because I just I read about them for years and
Yeah.
weren't on TV. Like we didn't have a way to watch them on TV around here. Um,
And I only asked because in ECW, even though he was a bad guy and he had his little clique with him, Shane was over. I mean, Dean was over.
oh yeah.
Over there in ECW. I was gonna ask, you think it didn't work over here?
Which one?
Because he brought the franchise character over here, but it
Oh,
didn't
Shane
work.
Douglas.
Shane, yeah, I mean,
He didn't get enough mic time. I think and he wasn't in his prime as a wrestler at this point. He was still good, but definitely not in his prime. And he could have gotten it over though, but not enough mic time. Yeah, because he was great on the mic. Lash LaRue taking it to Kurt Hennig here.
but Kurt could
Split.
still go. And mind you, he was having back problems at this time.
Yeah, but could still go.
Mm-hmm. Wonder what his son is doing now.
Oh wait, Kurt Hennig hit the ref.
Really? That's what we doing?
Oh shit! So Lash LaRue is in the second round. All right.
Well, he gonna take one too.
The number 3 ranked cruiserweight champion, Disco Inferno, not looking as mighty as he did last week.
Mm-mm. Man, oh man.
What happened with the filthy animals? What'd they do?
They back there looking for Tori.
Oh,
Hold on, y'all. Oh, I thought I was about
sorry,
to
you
have
can't look away. You can't look away or you're gonna miss something.
Not with Vince Russo's. Not with a Russo show. You're making yourself.
So, thank you for watching with us. Right now, we're watching Nitro, October 25th, 99. We are at 32 minutes and 59 seconds. And so here's what's happened so far tonight. Uh, Sting was looking for J.J. Dillon. Sting came out to the ring with no makeup and called out J.J. Dillon. J.J. Dillon came out and vacated the world title because Sting attacked an official at Halloween Havoc. Then we had a first round hardcore match. Norman Smiley beat Bam Bam Bigelow after he knocked him out with a trash can. The Outsiders show up and they say they don't know who they're wrestling. The Filthy Animals come out. They reveal that they buried Ric Flair alive in the desert last night. Dean Malenko and Saturn then come out and attack the Filthy Animals. Asia comes out. She kidnaps Tori Wilson. We had a Kurt Hennig interview saying he wasn't going to retire yet. The Outsiders sat around and got drunk on the couch. Lash LaRue beat Kurt Hennig by DQ after Hennig hit the ref. Hennig then hit LaRue and Disco with chairs. The Filthy Animals were looking for Tori, and then Bret Hart arrived, and then Goldberg arrived.
Good rundown.
The rundown. The Vince Russo show rundown. Eric saying, no, he did not RRP.
think he's talking about Roddy Piper.
Oh, didn't he have the WCW? Let me look in my book here.
He had the WCW title.
I thought he did. Eric may be right,
he beat
though.
Hogan. I want to say he beat Hogan for that thing.
I know. I think that the match, that's what I thought of too. I think that was a non-title match, actually. Because, yeah, he beat Hogan at one big pay-per-view. He put him to sleep. That was either Halloween Havoc or Starrcade.
Mm-hmm.
So Eric may be right. Eric is right. Roddy Piper never won the WCW World Title.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
So I'll agree with you. Number one, who never won a world title, Roddy Piper. I'll agree with that. And number two, Mr. Perfect. Yeah. And I found out in my 2000 Wrestling Almanac and Book of Facts. Still use it every week to this day.
Ooh, that's throwback.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is the Pro Wrestling Illustrated used to make this every year, and I couldn't wait till it came out. It's got all like title reigns and pay-per-view histories and shit. I use this all the time still. It's got like every pay-per-view from WCW, WWF, ECW. It's got people's birth dates and like their real names and title histories and shit.
That's what's up. Keep that junk fresh. Take care of that.
Oh yeah, I do. And here's Jeff Jarrett. So Jeff Jarrett had only been out of WWF for 8 days at this point. He said he wasn't the one who hit Elizabeth, so who did it?
Yeah, because remember, she was just in there with a guitar.
Right.
They didn't show Jeff Jarrett hitting her with it.
Somebody framed Jeff Jarrett. That's what he says.
Bobby is my guy.
Yeah, he's great.
Look at a young Tony, boy.
And Eric asked, how come they stopped making wrestling magazines? They haven't stopped making them yet. Pro Wrestling Illustrated is still out there. But I hear what you're saying. I mean, you used to go and there'd be 20 different wrestling magazines at the grocery store.
Yep.
Oh my God. I would go in the grocery store while my mom shopped and just stand there and read as much as I could. And when she was done, I'd be right there in the same place reading wrestling magazines, reading about like whatever happened in ECW or like in Memphis, or, stuff was so much fun. But yeah, I miss all those old wrestling magazines. But I just sales. I think just sales made them stop. Unfortunately, and the internet, because
I was about to say the internet.
It used to be one of the only places you could read about wrestling, or like if it wasn't happening in your hometown. If you wanted to know what was going on, you had to get the wrestling magazines. If you wanted to know what was happening in Florida or New York or wherever, you had to get the magazines. But yeah, they do still make Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I still get it from my aunt. She gets them and then she gives them to me. But I don't know of many other wrestling magazines that are still in print. Yeah. That's a good question. I hate that they've gone away, Eric. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of us do. That's a big nostalgic part of my childhood is just
Mm-hmm.
reading every wrestling magazine I could get my hands on. I would read it, the whole thing.
I would get them. I would rip pages out, hang them on my wall.
Yeah, yeah, man. So
Yeah,
is
that
this?
match was bloody last night.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not last night. That Halloween Havoc match with Sid was
So wait, did you watch the pay per view or did you just go back and look stuff up?
So like it's this guy that I watch, Wrestling Bios. I'm gonna send you his link because
Okay.
you don't the way he breaks it down, you don't have to watch the whole pay-per-view. What
Oh,
he
that's
does
cool.
is he breaks it down in like 30 minutes with pictures, a little video. He talks, he even gives you a little backstory on certain stuff, and it's like that. Like right now, how we're doing the Russo area, he's
Mhm.
doing the Monday Night Wars. So he'll review Raw and Nitro every Thursday, and it's like maybe 30 to 40 minutes long, and he'll just see which one had the better show. Right now, I think Raw is winning, and then once Vince buys, the series will be over. But I'm gonna send you his YouTube link,
Yeah,
and
yeah, that
that's
sounds
how I
cool.
did it.
That sounds cool. I'd like to see that.
Because I was like, damn, I don't want to watch the whole thing. Then I was like, hold on, I know he done reviewed this joint already. So I went on
Yeah.
his page, and sure enough, he had it up there. Once again, we're seeing the filthy animals.
Yeah, yeah. So is this a tournament match? Did I miss something?
I don't know. I just saw Saturn coming out. Who's Saturn supposed to be?
Yeah, you got access to the bracket. I don't have access to it right now.
Yep, I sure do. Hold on. Sit that one up there.
Just because I'm on my phone and I always fuck stuff up when I try and do something else on my phone.
Yep, accept. No. Yep, it is. So this is a tournament match. Saturn versus Guerrero. This is the third one of the night. One, two. Nope. Okay, this is only the second match of the night in the bracket. We still got Kidman versus Conan and Goldberg versus Bret Hart.
But I'm sorry, you said this is not part of the bracket?
No, this is part of the bracket, but it's only the second match that's part of the bracket.
Oh,
We still have
okay.
Kidman versus Conan tonight, and we have Bret Hart versus who is it? Bret Hart
So wait,
versus
Hennig
Goldberg.
and Lash LaRue, wasn't that part of the bracket?
No,
Oh, for real? Okay.
not in this group.
Okay.
Is it in group 2? Let me see. No, the cat and LaRue is fighting in group C. Group
That's
3.
right. That's right. Who does Hennig fight in the tournament?
Henning fights. Let's see if we got here. Who we got? Henning is going to go against Disco in group 4.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I need to print these out. And there's some smoke coming out of the fucking turnbuckle for some reason.
That right there. Put that up there. There we go.
The legs out of all these guys. He'll come on stubs. He'll crawl on their stomachs. This means everything to them. There are no friends in this, so it's a very, very dangerous situation we have here, and very entertaining. Very entertaining. What the fans are going to be with us for the next 4 weeks or so.
Oh, nice springboard clothesline there.
Yeah, Perry was so good too.
I think this match is going to get a little more time than the other two have tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes fucking David Flair.
Crowbar in hand.
Oh, because the filthy animals. I was like, why the fuck is he out here? Because they buried his father.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crowbar to the stomach.
Rings of Saturn. Is that
Yep,
going to do it?
that's it.
Rings of Saturn.
Here come the filthy animals again.
These guys.
I'll tell you what, they cannot shut down in this moment. Shut down. Strip makers. I'll strip makers. They'll shut down. If there's no shut.
Oh gosh, I just realized how old I am.
What?
That FUBU outfit that Nash got on. That was me in high school. Everything was FUBU. LL Cool J's brand.
I'm going to tell you something right now. If they still think it was the worst.
That was definitely I didn't wear it, but that was definitely the hit brand, yeah, when I was in school too.
Yeah.
Now the Revolution have her kidnapped. What's going on here? Oh shit. Malenko attacked by, is that Chris Benoit? A jacked, roided out Chris Benoit.
Yep. He attacked Benoit at the pay-per-view, so payback.
Oof.
Former Horseman members.
Revolution's stuck in a cage.
Mm-hmm. Man, that shit is still so sad, man.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's not the most important thing, but all that wrestling legacy he has just basically gone down the drain now, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still talk about him and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to say I don't care, but that doesn't erase what he did. Like, it's fucked up. It's terrible, but it's not like he meant to do it. You know what I mean? That's what makes it different for me, is that he wasn't like planning it. Like, dude went crazy, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be different if he were just evil, you know, just a bad guy. But I mean, we know that he went crazy.
Yes.
And he just
Bro,
snapped and did all this.
They said he was still talking and hearing and seeing Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going through all that stuff. So, like,
yeah. I mean, it's still sad. It's sad. Don't get me wrong. It's terrible. I don't mean to reduce it or anything like that. Just, I think it's important for us to remember the guy snapped. It's not like something, and like I said, that just makes it a little different to me.
it does, man. They also said that when they did the research on his brain, they said he had the brain of an 80-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah.
All them concussions. And think about it. His finishing move was a diving fucking headbutt.
Yeah.
So you know some shit happened, man.
And I saw him do that from the top of a fucking cage once, the diving headbutt.
Exactly. Yes.
I forget who he was wrestling, but I saw that. And Eric says, so sad he was sick. I wish he got help. Yeah, I hear you, man.
But it was in the early stages of that what is it, CT, whatever that shit is called, man.
CTE.
We didn't know too much about that shit. They was so Razor was so Scott was so cool.
That's true.
Don't take it back, go to Wolf Pack. So Wolf, every time he comes live, that's what he should come into. That right there.
I don't know. I don't think we're allowed to play that. I think we get shut down.
I know, yeah, we would.
You get shut down so quick by YouTube.
Hey yo.
The only music we ever play is the intro theme and then K Fabulous's fashion theme.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So yeah, for those of you watching with us, October 25th, 99, Monday Nitro, we are at 50 minutes and 23 seconds in. And thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Also, feel free, and Eric's talking to us. Feel free to talk to us. We're not mean. We're not going to hurt you. The least we'll say is we disagree, or the most we'll say is we disagree with you. You know, if you say something, we're not going to be jerks. We try not to be.
Yep. Try not to be.
Sometimes I'm a jerk, but I'm not a jerk to the viewers. I'm not a jerk to the viewers. So,
but everybody can have their own opinion in here. Let
Yeah.
us know y'all's.
yeah.
Yo, they were so over.
Yeah. Yeah. Still, I mean, this is, over 3 years after the NWO invasion.
Exactly.
And they're still over. They're more over here than they were then. I think.
Yeah. Listen to that crowd response.
Here comes Goldberg, who really did not like Nash and Hall in reality.
Didn't. Nope.
We are all family. That's true, Eric. I'm glad you see it that way. Everybody, the loyal viewers and listeners, and all of us commentators, we are all family. We get together, we watch wrestling, we have a good time. That's what it's all about. We're not trying to get. I would run things totally different if we were trying to get clicks and all that shit, and and get the most views we possibly can, which we do all right. But I like to run things. I like to be real, not fake, and I like to be real with the viewers too. And all of our commentators are like that. We're all ourselves. We're not acting. We're not trying to
At
make
all.
faces. Oh my god! Oh, can you believe it? And shit like that. But yeah, Eric, I got away from my point. We are all family. Yeah, we're together having fun watching wrestling.
Yes, the one thing that brings me peace.
I hear you, yeah.
Wrestling is an escape for me, man. I have a lot. I got people that they'll still make fun of me and stuff, and I could give two shits about it, but this is my outlet right here, man. Yeah, I do music, I do videos, I work, take care of the family. This right here is what does it for me.
I hear you. Yeah, me too. Especially the older stuff. I like the new stuff. I mean, I love AEW,
Yeah,
Especially the nostalgic stuff really gets me. Yeah.
like right now.
Yeah.
Like right now. Seeing this guy right here.
Oh yeah. Nice.
So many great wrestling minds I wish was still with us, man.
Hmm.
He's one of them. If Scott Hall was still here and clean, I do believe he would be in either WWE or AEW because Scott Hall had a good wrestling mind
I'm
for the
sure he'd get
psychology
a.
of it.
I'm sure he'd have a job like writing for WWE or something. You
Yeah,
know. I'm
yeah,
sure. I'm sure. Or NXT. You know.
something. Yeah,
Stuff like
I
that.
can see. I can see Sean bringing him in to do some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Same thing with Macho Man. He wouldn't be with WWE probably, but uh,
Oh no, I could see AEW giving him whatever he wanted.
yeah, might be behind the scenes guy at AEW. You know. But he never got a chance to do that. I'm not sure how much of an interest he had in it, being behind the scenes, but he would have been great at it, I bet.
Man, WCW had some bad chicks, man.
Yeah. Yes, they did.
Oh man, you ever heard his rap album?
Yes, I have. 50 years in the game and I'm still respected. Making it a genre that no one ever expected.
That's my guy.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
he ain't playing.
That's funny.
Mm.
Macho Man says he's passing the torch.
Mm. Yeah, this was what 99. So yeah, Macho was winding down around this time.
Yeah. Who's he talking about?
I don't know. I don't remember him backing anybody.
Yeah, I don't know. Who was he talking about? I don't understand.
I don't either. Goldberg?
I don't know. I
He,
don't remember him passing the torch to anyone. I have no idea.
they won't just in there. Y'all late.
Uh-huh. Coming up next, Medusa and a mystery opponent in the first round.
So let's see. Medusa is in group. Group 2. Okay. So we got 2 mystery opponents in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
She gets one, and what's that? Courageous?
Evan Courageous.
See, who could Medusa be fighting? I don't know. Don't know.
This one I do know. I don't watch the episodes or read about them beforehand because I want to be surprised by the stuff I don't remember. At least I do know who she's fighting though.
Okay. Yeah, I told you. All this is about 80% of this is going to be new to me.
That's cool. That's cool though.
And my memory's not too good any daggone way. So
And I think I'm gonna talk K Fabulous into watching it with us next week. She's out of town actually tonight.
okay.
But I think she'll watch it with us next week, and it'll 100% be new to her. So she's only seen a little of Vince Russo stuff, but she's not a fan.
Are they joking? That's not who I think it is. I be damned.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell no. Oh hell no. What the hell is Russo doing?
Mm. Let me go check on my cats real quick. They're being real loud. I'll be
Go
right
do
back.
your thing while I'm in shock right now. So we have Ming versus Medusa, and she's going for it. Medusa is going for it, y'all. Throw them, rights, throw them, forearms. And Ming is just eating them kicks. Oh my gosh. Ming, don't hurt my girl. Don't hurt my girl. Oh, yeah, he do. Yeah, he do. A handful.
They're just playing around. Ming and Medusa here. Former WWF Tag Champion Ming.
I got into a boxing ring last week. And if a boxing ring is anything like a wrestling ring, that fucking mat is hard as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was my first time ever stepping in a ring. And I was like, oh my God. I said, bro, just think. The wrestling that I watch, people be falling on this joint. Like jumping to this joint.
They're different, but I mean they're both hard. A wrestling ring will have like wood to soften the blow. But
that's what the boxing one felt like. It felt like wood underneath with a little pad on the top.
Yeah. But yeah, not comfortable. People don't realize how hard that fucking ring is.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, like until you get used to falling or learn how to fall, you're gonna hurt yourself if you try and fall. And it hurts. Oh my God. Lord.
Like a little rag doll.
It's gonna hurt even when you know how to fall. It hurts. It's not fun.
It
Falling.
can't be.
It's not fun. Well, that's why I knew I'd never make it as a wrestler. I've said on this show a lot, I went to wrestling school, but with no intention of being a wrestler, I just wanted to do it. But I never would have made it because that shit hurts, man, falling on the mat. I mean, I don't know how people do it. I mean, they're more in shape than me. That's step one.
And
Being
knowing, like you
safe.
said, knowing how to fall, man. But good God
Yeah.
Almighty.
Yeah. I think it's time for an update. I try. That's Evan Courageous there.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett came out. Then we had a first round tournament match. Saturn beat Eddie Guerrero by submission to the rings of Saturn after David Flair attacked with a crowbar. The Outsiders came out and they talked. Benoit locked Revolution in a cage and assaulted Dean Malenko. The Outsiders came out. Goldberg interrupted them. Macho Man and Gorgeous George came out. Macho Man says he's passing the torch to someone. Filthy Animals are in the back. They were looking for Tori. Still couldn't find her. Medusa was shown warming up. The Revolution was shown talking and planning. We then had a first round match. Ming beat Medusa with a tongue and death grip. Pender and Evan Courageous came out to console her after the fact, and now Dean Malenko was in the ring.
Good job, my brother.
Thank you. That's
So
your Vince Russo. It's your Vince Russo Nitro update.
I just sent K Fabulous a request. The reason that I can't write on it is because she just has me down for viewing. So it said I need to send her a request for editing, and then we'll be able to. So when you get yours up, make sure she gets you down as an editor and not just a viewer.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, otherwise you could be doing it and sharing it. Yeah, we'll have the bracket up to share. I should have had her show me how to do that before she left, but whatever. We'll figure it out for next week.
Hey, we'll be up and running next week.
What did Malenko come out and say? Do you know? I don't know what he
I
said.
really don't. That was my bad. I was sitting there running my mouth.
Oh, it's all right. I mean, he was out there for like 20 seconds. Who know? Like I said, you blink and you miss something on these shows, you know?
Even the fucking promos is quick.
Yeah. But they're trying to say stuff that matters, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like nothing promos. They really are trying to move the story forward, so they usually say something that matters.
There had to be something towards Chris Benoit.
Yeah. It's Brad Armstrong.
Something's going to happen. They're going to need to get this break. You know what I'm talking about? Let's take a look for this.
Do you remember the personality that Brad comes back with?
Wanted like a ripoff of Road Dogs?
Kinda. He had
something like that, yeah.
He had like he's got like a do-rag kind of thing, but with like little dreads coming out from under it.
Yep.
Like little braids, not even dreads, little braids coming out from under it. And then he holds up like a protest signs, and he's a stoner and wears tie-dye, and like they'll open a room and like smoke comes pouring out. But he says it's incense.
I remember
That's
that
another way they got around standards of practices again by saying that was incense, not marijuana smoke. But yeah, he comes back and his name is Buzzkill.
Buzzkill, yeah, that's it, Buzzkill.
Brad Armstrong, number 5 in our top 10 rankings, and this man Lex Luger, number 4 in our top 10 from last week. And Elizabeth looks fine after taking the guitar shot. So does she know who hit her?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
The total package.
I tell you, man, Lex was fucking built. Just amazing. Amazing that people in his condition could still move like he does, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Be as agile as he is.
Total package.
I love Lex Luger. I love Elizabeth too. So yeah, Luger beat Bret Hart at Halloween Havoc to get the number 4 spot on our rankings. Bret Hart lost on Nitro and lost at Halloween Havoc, so he was not in the top 10.
With a single leg Boston Crab. Didn't
Man.
see that coming.
Nah. Oh, and this is a world title tournament match. I believe so.
This is Lex against who?
Rick Steiner.
Let's see if that's on here. Yep, this is in group 2, so this is a tournament match. Making sure I'm marking them so I'll be ready for when I can edit.
Yeah, Rick Steiner won the world television title the previous night at Halloween Havoc from Benoit. But Rick Steiner did not make our top 10. Benoit did. Benoit came in at number 8 in the top 10.
The dog face gremlin.
But this match, not for the world television title.
Nope, just a tournament match.
Unlike the Bret Hart and Goldberg match coming up later, which is a tournament match and is for the United States title. And here comes Jeff Jarrett real quick.
Slap nuts.
I like Jeff Jarrett. I like this era of Jeff Jarrett. He's calling everybody slap nuts.
I just hope AEW doesn't waste this last year of him because they haven't been featuring him on shit. And like I said, I thought for sure he would have like at least won the Owen Hart tournament.
Yeah,
being that was one of his best friends and stuff. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they re-signed him and then featured him pretty heavily on TV for a month.
I thought he was on his way for a run.
Yeah, me too. And then the internet complained about it, and then he went away.
Oh,
is that why you think? Because the internet complained about it?
Most of the time, when the internet does do some complaining, they be listening. I didn't know that the internet was complaining. I surely wasn't complaining about it.
Everybody was like, "I don't want Jeff Jarrett to win another title. I don't want him to win the Owen Hart." And yeah, a lot of people were bitching about Jeff Jarrett having a chance of winning anything.
Which is fucking crazy because when they was featuring Jeff on TV, Jeff was fucking over. He was getting crowd responses.
Yeah.
Like,
and he can still wrestle.
I mean, and can still go.
He's almost as good now as ever, I would say.
Yeah.
He's still very good. Oh, shit. Rick Steiner gets smashed with a guitar. And the referee doesn't know what to do.
He wobbly.
I think Rick Steiner's going to get counted out here.
That's what it's looking like. Well, get your butt in the ring, Luger.
Luger's out there, too.
Yeah.
Eight. Luger drops all his He gets
I
in the
just know it.
ring. Oh man.
Oh, okay. Bobby's stupid. She can wait. This is more important. And look how Lex selling that shit. It's so perfect, man.
Mm. Conan again.
I would love to ask Vince Russo his thought process of pushing the filthy animals the way he was doing it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to invite him to come on our little podcast here. I doubt he'll come, but I'm going to try. So
He responds because I asked him a question about the Hall of Fame, and I told him being that I asked him being that he was such a big part of the Attitude Era, does he
mhm.
feel he should be in the Hall of Fame for that? And he was like, bro, I really could care less whether they put me in the Hall of Fame because I don't see it as a real Hall of Fame, but I wouldn't care one way or another. So that was his answer for that from me.
Ah, yeah, I'm gonna try and get him to come. We'll see. I'm sure he won't, but I gotta try.
Hey, you got to take the shot. Only bad shot is a shot that's not taken, man.
Exactly. Get him here on Monday Night Russo with us.
Yep.
So here's another first round match. We got Kidman versus Conan. More filthy animals, and yeah, Vince Russo is definitely all about the filthy animals at this point. Really pushing Conan and Kidman. Would have been pushing Rey Mysterio if he hadn't gotten hurt, like Switch mentioned.
Yeah, but like you said though, at this time, the way that Rey Mysterio's character was being portrayed, that's what really had me liking Hoovy more.
Yeah,
Like I
me
loved
too.
Rey Mysterio, but even at this time, I was more of a Hoovy fan than I was Rey.
Me too. Yeah. And Hoovy becomes a big character in Russo's world in a little bit here. I say we'll see. We may start watching the Thunders also.
You know, I was thinking about that too. I was like, damn, because Thunder is going to end up because it's not like it's two different shows. Sometimes Thunder has a lot to do with what's going on Nitro
Yeah.
sometimes. So
So
I was thinking about that.
I think we may start watching the Thunders. We'll figure out if do we do it on Monday or do we pick do we do this 2 nights a week or do we do like 1 week as Nitro, 1 week as Thunder, 1 week as Nitro, 1 week as Thunder? You know what I mean?
If we did it that way, it would stretch this out because
Yeah.
WCW only stays in business until what 2000 and
One.
2001.
But and
So if we
Vince
did
Russo
do
isn't
it,
even there the whole time.
he's not. He's
Yeah.
not. But yeah, even better. That would stretch it out if we did do it every other week and went back and forth.
Cause yeah.
Yeah, but whatever you decide, bro, you know I got your back with it.
I'm gonna think about it. Here comes Harlem Heat. A lot of run-ins. Trying to get these feuds going that Russo wants to start. They're definitely building towards the pay-per-view already. Mayhem in November of '99. I like that. And here comes Eddie and Ray.
Ray can't be but.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Kidman gets the pin on Conan. I thought it was about to be a no contest.
Yeah.
Uh oh. They had to come out here and fight. Still ain't found toy. Uh-oh. Conan's mad. And when Conan was in WCW, he was pretty much the spokesman for all the luchadors.
Yeah.
Like he was the one that went to upper management on behalf of the luchadors.
Well, and not to be fun, it's not the only reason, and I'm not trying to be funny. He was one of the only ones who could speak English.
Yeah, that too. Not
Because
Mother
a
Busters.
lot of them, like Juventud Guerrero, couldn't speak English, not very well.
Mm-hmm.
But so, like a lot of the mask guys, like the Los Vianos and Psychosis, and
Yep.
a lot of those guys couldn't speak English. Like Eddie and Ray and Conan do, but a lot of the other
I
Hispanic
don't think I
wrestlers.
heard La Parka speak English back then. I don't think I ever heard him speak.
Right, La Parka didn't. And the Mexican wrestler, the Hispanic wrestlers, I should say, got criticized a lot for that, for not trying to learn English. You know, they said you want to get over in this country, you should learn the language, and maybe you'll get some microphone time if you learn the language. But then they really got criticized for not trying to learn the language. You know, just like WCW got criticized for not pushing them enough. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, the luchadors were about the most entertaining part of Nitro, but they used them a lot. But since we've seen Russo take over now, we don't see the luchadors at all, except for the Filthy Animals guys. We don't see any of the other luchadors.
But you know, the luchadors was basically Eric's thing. That was Bischoff's thing.
Exactly.
He loved like opening up Nitro and pay-per-views with the luchador matches, which was always awesome.
Yep.
Not necessarily luchador. I'll say cruiserweights because you had Dean. Sometimes that would open, so I say the cruiserweights. But yeah, Russo didn't really. From what I'm seeing right now, haven't seen Hoovy, haven't seen La Parka, Psychosis,
Los Vianos.
Yeah.
There's Hoovy in the back. There's Laparco got the win last week. Oh, fuck. Yeah, Buff's here, and we'll see what he does after. See, but it's interesting, though, because we're still talking about what happened with Buff and Laparca, you know?
Yeah.
But a lot of people had complaints about that because they were like, well, so if Buff's not happy that he's supposed to lose, are all the wrestlers not happy when they lose? All the other wrestlers are just fine with losing? What's the deal, you know? So there are a lot of questions like, if that's the script, you know what I mean? It brings up a lot of questions.
Why wouldn't it be like that for others?
Exactly. Yeah. That's the main question. Is okay, if that's true, why won't we see that again? You know, things like that. But we're still talking about it now, and people are still talking about it the next week for sure. And now we want to see what Buff has to say for sure, you know? So it worked.
Exactly.
It worked.
There was some kind of stuff to his match and Russo's madness, man. Reasoning to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and for those who are watching, we don't absolutely love Vince Russo. I think Switch is kind of in between on him.
I am, and that's only because, like I said, growing up, I think I even stopped watching because Russo was in charge. And I was like, I wasn't feeling WCW. So like I said, when I had that remote, it was mostly on it was mostly on Raw. I wasn't doing all the clicking back and forth because I didn't really, WCW had nothing I cared about. I was a big NWO fan, you know, but like I said, that was younger me. Looking at it now as a older fan and knowing how wrestling works now, trying to think like how Russo was thinking, that's why I'm kind of on the fence right now. I'm going to have to see the totality of his run, and then I'll be able to really judge it.
I hear you. That's fair. I'm trying to do the same thing. I like very much that he tries to be so different. I like that a lot. Oh, and here comes the Harris brothers. Buff Bagwell talking about the two idiots in the back, saying he was never going to do a job again. But yeah, like back to what Switch was saying, I'm trying to just judge when we're done. But I will say the biggest thing I like is that Russo tried to be so different and do something very different with wrestling. The biggest thing I hate are all the run-ins and the short matches. Um, we got one match that got a little time. I know Malenko faces Benoit later. That gets a little time. And I think Hart and Goldberg may get a little time. And that's it. And all the other matches are super short, you know?
Okay.
But they're trying to build these characters. So I kind of get it, you know? They're trying to make characters that people care about, trying to reset the whole company. So I kind of get it. So I don't know. We will see in a couple weeks where we both stand on them.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting whether we like it or not.
Ron and Don Harris.
Yep.
They are from WWE. They used to roll with Crush and I think DOA. I think that's what they was called in WWE.
Yep.
Used to roll around on the Harleys.
And those guys eventually become known as Creative Control.
Yep.
They're the enforcers for the new writers, Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara, however it's pronounced.
Don't let me lie to you. Yeah, but even like when you was telling us that we was going to do this, I didn't realize that Eddie came over with Russo at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And at some point, he becomes an on-screen character. He becomes Oklahoma, which is a mean parody of Jim Ross.
The one thing that pissed me off about WCW, they wanted a reaction. They got it out of me because I was so pissed off with that damn character.
I hear you. Yeah, it was in terrible taste.
Once again, flying headbutt off the top rope into a table. And y'all wonder why he went crazy.
Yeah.
Not condoning it. Just, come on, y'all. Think of context with this shit, man.
Right. Context. Yeah. Yeah, still one of the best for my money. And, you know, like you said, he's kind of been erased and people don't talk about him, but he's one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Benoit. Like, he would be like top 20 for me, for sure. So we got a last man standing match here.
Dean, another one that was so good in the ring, just didn't have any personality to really sell, but he could go in that ring.
Yeah, for sure. Man, Benoit would fucking go for it, man.
Yeah. Old Chris Benoit, patting a lot of his style from the Dynamite Kid.
Wait, say what? Oh, the Dynamite Kid. I know you said the Dynamite Kid. I heard Disco Inferno, and I was like, what the fuck?
No, I was saying Chris Benoit patterned his style a lot after the Dynamite Kid.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely right. Definitely right. Oof. Yeah, Dynamite Kid.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, for those of you who don't know Dynamite Kid out there, very revolutionary. He was part of the tag team, the British Bulldogs, with Davey Boy Smith, who later became known as the British Bulldog. But he was part of that tag team, and the Dynamite Kid is one of the most influential wrestlers of all time. Like, if you watch his matches from the 80s, it looks a lot like what guys do now and girls do now in AEW, especially. It looks like an
Yeah,
AEW match, a modern wrestling style, if you want to call it that.
yeah,
But his life ended up very sad. He ended up crippled, and he was a drug addict, and he died, lived a miserable life by all accounts, and is dead now. But before all that happened, he was a hell of a wrestler. And yeah, like Switch said, very influential on people like Bret Hart and Chris Benoit. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
uh, there was also a story back in WWE when the Dynamite Kid, I guess he had did something to one of the Russos. He had did something not to Jacques, but the other Russo.
Yeah.
And they met in catering, and Jacques had a handful of quarters, a roll of quarters, and busted Dynamite in the face, knocked out all his teeth, man.
Oof. I didn't
Yeah,
know
they
that.
yeah, they said Dynamite had a lot of heat backstage during
Oh,
that run in WWE.
I believe it.
Let's go, y'all. These two, you know you was gonna get a good match with these two.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Robinson still around refereeing too.
Mm-hmm. And for those of you who just joined us, we're watching Monday Nitro, October 25th, 1999. And we are at 1 hour, 31 minutes, 20 seconds in. I got about 44 minutes left in what's been a pretty good show. Uh, very enjoyable. Too many short matches is the way I would call it so far.
I was about to say real fast, real fast. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is our seventh match
Mm-hmm.
in an hour and a half.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of matches. They've just been short.
Lot, yeah, but a lot of backstage promos and shenanigans and stuff.
But like I said, I get, usually I'm the first one against all the talking and all that stuff. And which, I like a little of it, but mostly I'm here to watch wrestling. Um, but I can get with how much they're doing because, like I said a minute ago, they're trying to create these characters for people to care about. Because that was the problem with WCW was eventually people didn't care, and so they had these people like Benoit, like Malenko, like the Filthy Animals, who just hadn't gotten enough screen time. And WCW had so many people dominating the screen time, like Hogan, Flair, Goldberg, people like that. They didn't get a chance. So now they're being given a chance, and they got to show the personality and get involved in some stories. And so I can respect them taking the time to try and do that.
Yeah, and that might have been one of the reasons why I had fell off. I stopped
Yeah,
caring.
yeah,
I stopped caring. But like you said, when it comes to the talking and the backstage stuff, as long as it's story that's leading me somewhere, I don't mind it because I love
right,
you. Like I think you're more of a fan of the wrestling.
yeah.
Me, give me good story to go with the wrestling.
No, I'm with you there. I like a good story. I like a good story. Um, I mean, it makes it better if there's a good story to go with it. It makes it better, no doubt. No, I'm with you. Um, yeah, I'm not against story. I just mostly am here for the wrestling. But like I said, a good story makes it more fun, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
When there's a reason you want to see the guy get beat up, you
Exactly.
know, uh, that's definitely more fun. Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing is here you can't. Whatever you say about Vince Russo, we're getting stories. We're getting storylines and feuds here.
You just got to be able to keep up with them. Don't blink.
Right? Yeah. Lex Luger, Jeff Jarrett, we got Goldberg and Outsiders. The Revolution and the Filthy Animals versus everybody.
Everybody.
Filthy Animals are a feud with everyone in the company. And Chris Benoit just won the match there.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was a banger. That was a banger.
And here come the
Here they come.
Animals.
Here they come.
Lord. Wow.
Y'all go ahead on and have that. Wonder whatever happened to Asia.
I don't know. No idea. That's so ridiculous calling a character Asia.
It's crazy too. Looking at it like that. Wow, bro, you good?
Yeah, I'm
all right, man. Back then, like I said, when I was younger, not knowing what Ray and Eddie would become, didn't care. Now, older, knowing what they become, I'm interested in the Filthy Animals right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you better be, or you're gonna hate the show. You better be interested in what the Filthy Animals are doing. They're getting pushed to the moon.
To the mother freaking moon.
Yeah, man.
Ah, man. Watching this is probably going to put perspective about those 4 members jumping ship.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, that happens right after the Russo era. That happens because the Russo era ends. Like those guys all liked Russo.
But I thought it was like 2 Russo stints. Thought he left and then came back.
Right.
Okay.
It was after the end of the first Russo era. Because he got sent home in December, and that's when those guys got released. They all 4 said, "We like Russo. Why'd you get rid of him? We all want to leave," and they let him go. I can't believe they let him go. That's the craziest thing. Because they looked at it just like, all right, we'll get rid of the 4 contracts and 4 guys that don't want to be here. But it's like you just handed WWF, Saturn, Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, and Chris Benoit. You just handed them to WWF. I still can't understand that. So here we got another first round Sting versus Brian Knobbs here.
Yep. Another tournament match. Sting outfit looking a little, his ring attire looking a little different. Oh, Sting ain't playing. Sting
No.
ain't playing. Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Well, damn. Sting, 2 back shots, and a 3-pin victory. Hugh Morris is like, nah, I don't want none. I don't want to get in there.
I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably miss like 10 things. I'll be right back though.
Gotcha. Here we go with the Outsiders.
Bret Hart tonight here going into the WCW title tournament. Must go through Boulder. However, following your match last evening and Halloween Havoc, now it's determined that you have a brand. I know the WCW World's title means everything to you, but you have to think long term. If you further injure that ankle, you can sideline for months. Waiting for everybody to shot the first place. I can't injure myself and re-injure even more yesterday. So that much more frustrating. Let me say one thing. I don't want to prove to everybody that I'm not a quitter. I got a small chance here. Maybe it's just a small bit of brave. You know what? If you get a chance like that, maybe I'll stop. I want to show one thing. Keep going over. Yeah, it's going to be a fight. I'm just going to put whether everything just like this. Oh, this match, next match, next match. You like what you
So we got a world tag team title match here. Harlem Heat defending against what? The Filthy Animals, right?
That's why I thought he was built. Man. With all this TV time, I wonder if their pay went up. Because these boys are being featured.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be Conan and Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Conan Kidman. I was about to say Ray got hurt.
Not only are they all over the show, but this is Kidman and Conan's second match of the night. Both of them.
Yeah, yeah. Yo, I did like the way that the WCW titles looked.
Mm-hmm.
Tag titles, I did like how they look.
Mm-hmm.
Orderly. Oh, Stevie Ray was a big boy, man. Big boy.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Booker at his age right now still looks like he can get in the ring and go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does.
He does every once in a while in his wrestling organization jump.
Where's Booker T's promotion? Down in Texas?
Yeah. It's a reality of wrestling in Texas.
All right. Reality of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And Booker T, I mean, WCW goes out of business in March of '01, but between here and March of '01, Booker T becomes one of the biggest stars in WCW.
So
Pretty,
I was watching something. Don't remember what it was, but David Arquette had won the WCW title, went backstage, sat down beside Booker T, and said, "I can't believe that I won this." And Booker T said something in response, like he has never been champ or something, he wouldn't get a chance. And David Arquette said he felt like shit when that happened. And that's when David Arquette went to whoever was in charge then, was like, this is who you need to be pushing. Booker T is who you need to be pushing.
would have been Russo and Bischoff at that point.
I agree, Eric. Camera work was on point.
Mm-hmm.
Being that I've been dealing with cameras for the past 3 years, I look at TV shows and stuff differently now. Like, how did they get this camera shot? What kind of lighting did they use for this shot, man? It's so much that goes to it. It's not just holding the camera and shooting stuff. It's a lot of stuff that goes into it, man. I have to tell people all the time, can y'all come shoot a video for me? Yeah, we can shoot, you get in charge, but it's not just us coming out there. We got to write the treatment up and everything.
Yeah, and if y'all just think Switch is just talking, I've seen his videos, and the production value is good. Is very good.
Appreciate
So
that.
he's not just talking here.
I'm gonna have to look it up. I wonder if Kidman's still with WWE. He was with them for a while.
Like backstage.
Yeah, he was a producer backstage for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder. Oh, that was a high kick.
Yeah.
Oh, for those of you just joining us, watching Monday Nitro, October 25th, 1999, and we are 1 hour, 49 minutes, 6 seconds. 1:49:10. Going for the running bulldog. Got backdropped. Kidman bridged out of it
Nice.
and pinned Stevie Ray. Kidman and Conan won the belts.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Damn.
So last week, who won the titles? Was it Kidman and Rey Mysterio? Because
Yeah.
Kidman and Ray, and then they lost them to Harlem Heat at Halloween Havoc.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess they just didn't want to have Ray, who was injured, so they had now Kidman and Conan win them. They just didn't want to vacate them and have two different belts vacant. So we
Yep.
got 3 tag title changes in 1 week.
It's me. It's DDP. So if it's DDP versus Flair, this will be another tournament match.
Oh,
if
DDP
that is the next match.
versus David Flair, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you missed anything, the update, we had a first round tournament match with Kidman and Conan. It was nothing. Kidman won. There was a Harlem Heat run in and an Eddie Guerrero and Ray Jr. run in. Buff Bagwell arrived. He got beat up by Creative Control because he insulted what the writers were doing. We had a last man standing match where Chris Benoit beat Dean Malenko. The Filthy Animals then came in and attacked Chris Benoit. The Revolution brung out Tori and then threatened to snap her neck. And then they kidnapped Tori. The Filthy Animals lost Tori in a parking garage. Sting pinned Brian Knobbs in a first round match. We had a Bret Hart promo, and then Conan and Kidman won the World Tag Team titles for the third title change in a week. Then we had a Goldberg promo, and now here we are. Whew. They do a lot on these shows.
Woo! A lot. Y'all, WWE really dropped the ball with DDP. If DDP was basically the people's champ, that's what he was known for in WCW. Why, when he comes into WWE, you wouldn't put him against the other people's champ? Come on. DDP versus The Rock, people champ versus people champs. Who's the real people's champ? But they never did it. Instead, they decided to make him a stalker for The Undertaker's wife. Vince is thinking sometimes, I swear. Your daddy. Yep. At Halloween Havoc, when DDP came out for his promo to challenge Flair, he told him we want to do a strap match. And he said, we're going to whack it and jack it all night.
I remember that. I remember that.
Oh, man. Poor David. I'm not expecting
And
much of
Flair's
this.
got the
I'm
crowbar.
sorry.
He's terrible. Probably the worst wrestler in the history of WCW.
Oh my Lord. So this must be the early stages of when he started snapping and going crazy. I did start liking that. That was interesting to me. Something different.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to be like his daddy, doing his own thing. So what? That's a no contest, no winner, or give me something, Tony.
Me.
Give me something, Tony.
Yeah, I don't know.
There goes Doug Dillinger.
Yeah, I don't know. Does DDP win by disqualification, or is it a no contest, or what? Yeah, I don't know.
Haven't heard no official word. Sell it, DDP. Sell it.
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy. This is like I'm watching a new wrestling show, y'all. Like I said, I didn't watch this back in the day, man. I would peek at it, but not follow. But to sit here and follow, it's like a whole new wrestling show for me, man.
Mm-hmm. I know, it's fun. I mean, I watched it, but I've forgotten a lot of it.
I appreciate you doing this one. This is different. Oh, Eric, yes. King Booker was more than gold. Not King Booker, King Booker. Booker. You got to go on YouTube and watch all his clips when he says it. I'm telling you. They got a compilation on YouTube of Booker T saying King Booker, and I'm telling you, it's the funniest shit ever. There's also one when he's in TNA and he's at the commentary desk with Kevin Nash. He gets up with the microphone in his hand, gets in the ring, and beats the hell out of everybody and commentates the whole thing. Man,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. You talk about I was in stitches.
Oh, Lord. What are we watching?
You know what we're watching. This is right up Russo's alley.
Yep. Well, I'm not sure what these two ladies are called, but it's the Outsiders in an intergender tag team match, which I definitely was not expecting
I call them
tonight.
the girls.
The girls.
What the fuck? Scott's faces, man.
Yeah.
Are these Nitro girls?
Nah, I don't think so. Oh shit. What the fuck? That woman's tits are enormous. Oh my lord.
Sweet Jesus. A skirt and hit. Ain't no way in hell.
Outsiders lose. And the girls beat the outsiders.
Am I bad that I want to see if those are real?
No, I want to see if they're they're not real. I just want to see them at this point. Maybe they're real. Fuck. This is definitely Vince Russo. Here comes Goldberg.
DX would have had that shirt off.
Yeah. Oh shit. There's a spear.
Yep.
And a spear.
Bet it felt good for him to do that.
Mm-hmm. And no tits.
Such a tease.
Yeah.
Like I said, Triple H and Shawn would have had that shirt off.
Yeah. For those of you just joining us, we're watching Monday Nitro, October 25th, 1999. And we are at 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 3 seconds. Oh, this show's gone by quick. This is the main event.
Yep.
We got Bret Hart versus Goldberg. Should be a good one here. And this is about 2 months before Goldberg accidentally kicked Bret Hart in the head during a match and caused him to have to retire.
Yep.
Which Bret Hart still has not let go. Which I don't blame him. That caused him a lot of because he got a concussion there, and then he got in a match like 2 days later. He got another concussion.
Yep. You know, I love me some Bret Hart, but Bret Hart could carry a grudge. That boy is salty about a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Hogan over that WrestleMania 9 jump with Yokozuna.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the screw job.
Well, you know, they say strokes will change your personality, and he's had one or two strokes
Yeah,
that he attributes to the concussions, actually, which I think there may be some relation there.
it could be.
I'm not sure, but I think medically there could be some relation there. Goldberg, not as over as he was in '98, but still over. That motherfucker was over in 1998. That whole arena, when he hit his moves, you would see everybody in the arena was jumping up, was cheering.
And I try to tell people, man, they talk about Goldberg now. I was like, okay, you're looking at Goldberg now. Go back and watch when Goldberg was on top. The places would go crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely
And
insane.
this is an old one, so maybe I'll get my little dragon smoke. I love his entrance. I love that entrance standing in the fire, in the fireworks, and just
Yeah.
it just intensifies when he comes out.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Even now, though, listen to that crowd, man.
Mm-hmm. They really they fucked up with the winning streak, having him lose to Kevin Nash.
Yes,
They could have kept going with the winning streak, man.
it still had legs on it. I understand
Yeah.
that eventually he has to lose, but that wasn't the time.
Right, I agree.
That wasn't the time.
I totally agree. So this one is not just a first round tournament match. This is for the U.S. title. But yeah, you know, we were talking about Thunder a little bit ago. I'm not sure when Russo, maybe it was from the beginning. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm not sure when he started really like giving a crap about Thunder. I
Mm-hmm.
know by like December he did, but I'm not sure if he did before then. I'm gonna go and look up and look at the matches and see if the storylines would progress on Thunder, you know?
Okay.
Because we'll definitely do from like December, the December Thunders,
Okay.
but October, November, I'll look and see, like I said, how much star power and stuff were they dedicating to Thunder, you know?
Gotcha.
And we'll decide from there. But yeah, and then do we just do Russo's first run or do we do Russo's second run through the company too? We'll decide that. You know?
Yeah.
Because he's put out near the end of December '99.
Mm-hmm.
He was given very short amount of time.
And then when he came back, I think he had to partner with Bischoff, right?
Yeah.
Or Bischoff had
April,
to watch over him.
kinda, yeah. April of 2000 is when that started. And Eric says, in 01, WCW is going to have a reboot. The pay per view is going to be named The Big Bang, and it never happened. Yeah, that's true.
I remember
Eric
something about
Bischoff.
that.
Eric Bischoff had a group. I forget the name of the group now. Um, can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear
Mm-hmm.
me?
Yeah.
You can hear me? Okay.
Yeah. You
Can you
can't hear
talk?
me?
Let me see. I can't hear you. I'll be right back. I can't hear
All
you.
right. Slight technical difficulties, y'all. Supposed to be back in a minute. Right now, we got Goldberg versus Bret Hart. Tournament match also for the U.S. World Championship. There you go. Can you hear me?
Yeah. My
So,
that always happens. My alarm goes off. I gotta turn that off. And my alarm goes off during these wrestling shows, and it makes it to where I can't hear anybody on the show. I don't know what's up with that.
so you were
Um,
saying Eric had a group?
yeah, Eric Bischoff had a group. They were gonna buy WCW, totally relaunch it, and it was gonna be called the pay per view was gonna be called WCW The Big Bang.
Yep.
They were gonna wait like WCW ended in March. They were gonna buy it and wait several months, get everything set up, and then relaunch WCW, totally start from scratch. But that never happened because Vince McMahon swooped in and bought WCW, and Eric Bischoff and his group were not able to make a deal. So
And not only that, the deal fell through because they was just gonna sell Eric WCW's library. They wasn't gonna give him the TV time too. And Eric was like, it was pointless without having the TV time.
right.
Oh man, the what ifs. The what ifs. What do you think about this freestyle thing that him and Hogan got coming out?
I'll check it out. I'm it's not going to rival pro wrestling for me, but
I don't think so. I don't
if
think
the
so either.
if those two are involved, I at least want to see what the presentation is like.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be interested to see because freestyle wrestling, it's cool, and maybe it'll be interesting if the guys have like personalities to them. If we know a little bit about them, we'll see. I don't know. It's interesting that they're trying something like that. It's cool they're
It's
trying something
different.
different. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
different. Um, so I don't know. Will it succeed? I don't know. I don't know.
Between punches and taking a corner bump, Brett could do it.
Yeah, man. The best corner bumper ever, Bret Hart, and some of the best punches ever. I mean, I
Yes.
think so. Maybe the best. Great punches. Look at those. Oh, he's got Goldberg in the sleeper hold.
Like a little pit bull.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Oh,
ref
there
goes
we go.
down. Ref goes down.
All right. Let's see. He did spear the outsiders. Do we get an
Oh,
outsiders run in? Filthy Animals should be done for the night.
yeah. Outsiders running. Sid for the first time tonight. Oof.
The short choke slam.
Mm-hmm. Sidewalk Slam.
Oh, I remember Vince Russo talking about this in his show. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Rewind, what's up? A lot of people think Goldberg is the poor man's Taz, and I would agree.
Oh, why you say that, Rewind?
You've seen Rewind before, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Is it 2, 3? Bret Hart wins.
He tried to kick out.
Yep. Oh, and that's it.
Wow, abruptly.
Just like that. Just like that.
Abruptly.
All right, everybody.
Red Day.
We're gonna do our thing real quick. We'll go through and give the bone ratings for the matches here. All right. Tournament first round. Bam Bam Bigelow. Norman Smiley won. Norman Smiley pinned Bam Bam Bigelow after he knocked him out with a trash can over his head. Advanced to the second round. I gave this one 1 bone.
I gave it 2 bones.
Okay. Not a
Just
lot
because it's Norman.
Kurt Hennig versus Lash LaRue. Kurt was pissed off. He lost by disqualification because he hit the ref, and then eventually hit Lash LaRue and Disco Inferno with a steel chair. Lash LaRue got the win by DQ. I give this one 2.5 bones.
I also gave it 2.5 bones.
It was okay, but not a lot there. Another first round tournament match. Perry Saturn beat Eddie Guerrero. Got a Rings of Saturn submission after David Flair attacked Guerrero with a crowbar, and Saturn advances. I gave this one 3.5 bones out of 5.
I gave it 3 bones just because of the interference.
I hear you. First round, Medusa had a mystery opponent. It turns out it was Ming. And Ming just tossed her around. He won. He put the Tongan death grip on her and pinned her. Medusa's out. Ming advances to the round of 16. I gave this 1.5 bones.
I gave it 1.5 too. 1.5 bones also.
Yeah. It only got 1.5 because we got to see a lot of Medusa's panties. So
yep.
That's it.
Ming was cuffing butt.
A lot of these matches you'll see. Like I said, I enjoyed the show, but a lot of these matches I gave low ratings because they were just short.
I did too.
There wasn't a lot to them. Another first round match. Lex Luger beat Rick Steiner after Jeff Jarrett smashed Steiner with a guitar. I think accidentally, wasn't it?
Yeah. Supposedly accidentally. You never know with a Russo show, though.
True.
So we'll say accidentally.
And Luger advances to the round of 16. I gave this one 2 bones out of 5.
I gave it 1.5. 1.5 bones.
Gotcha. First round, Kidman versus Conan. We had Harlem Heat come in and run in. And then we had Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio Jr. run in to counter that run in. This match was nothing, literally nothing, and Kidman pinned Conan. I didn't even rate this.
I put 0.5 bones.
There you go. And Rewind saying Perry Saturn used to be Taz's assistant at the ECW wrestling school House of Pain. That's cool. I did not know that. That's a cool fact. Last man standing match. Chris Benoit beat Dean Malenko. I gave that one 4 bones out of 5.
I gave that 4.5 bones.
Wow.
Thought
Yeah,
that
this
was
is
a
a
good match.
good match. Hard hitting match, that's for sure. And after the match, of course, the Filthy Animals ran in and attacked Benoit. Let's see. First round tournament match. Sting pinned Brian Knobbs. It was a squash. I didn't rate it. World Tag Team title match. Conan and Kidman, the Filthy Animals, won the belts from Harlem Heat after Stevie Ray had a backdrop on Kidman. Both of their shoulders were down, and then Kidman bridged up and got a shoulder up at the last second. And Conan and Kidman won the belts. I gave that one 3.5 bones. I thought it was a pretty good little tag match.
Yep, I gave it 3.5 bones too. Thought it was.
DDP and David Flair first round tournament match never really got started. I don't know who won, if anyone won. I guess we'll find out next week. I don't know. If they continued the tournament on Thunder, we'll definitely watch Thunder. But I don't know. I'll have to look it up about Thunder.
Do some research tomorrow.
Yeah. Up next, the girls beat the Outsiders. And then because the Outsiders wanted to see some gigantic tits. And then Goldberg speared both of the Outsiders after that. We never saw the tits.
Nope.
Main event, first round tournament match, and a United States title match. Bret Hart won after Goldberg was attacked by Sid, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash. Bret Hart won the U.S. title, and advanced to the round of 16. I gave this one 4 bones out of 5. I enjoyed it.
I gave it 4 bones out of 5 too. Yep.
All right, so best match, worst match, and rating for the show.
Best match for me, I'm going with the Benoit and Dean one. It was heavy hitting, had a couple of fast paced spots in it. So that's my match of the night. Worst match. Oh gosh.
There were some bad ones.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with I'll just go with Brian Knobbs versus Sting because it was 2 bat shots in a pen. That's what I'm gonna go with. And overall, though, it's crazy because even though I have a lot of low ratings for the matches for this, I still would give this. I would give this show a 4.0.
Well,
it was still a good show to me, anyway.
There you go. 4 what?
4 bones. I'm sorry. 4 bones. 4
out
of 5. Yeah, 4 bones out of 5. Like I said, even though my ratings for the matches was low, it still was an interesting show, fast-paced show, still a good show. But yeah, 4 bones out of 5.
Yeah, best match definitely was the Benoit over Malenko in the Last Man Standing match. Definitely the match of the week. Worst match, I'm gonna go with Kidman versus Conan because all it was like 4 guys who ran in who weren't even in the match, and then Kidman pinned Conan. So that's why it's my worst match.
We're spoiled for choices for that.
Yeah. Rating as a whole, I'm gonna go with 4.5 bones out of 5. I like you said. Rewind says Taz always sees the titties when he walks down the street. Women just flash him because he's that good.
I can't with you, Rewind.
But I'm gonna give the show 4.5 bones out of 5, just like last week, and just like you just said. There were several matches I gave low ratings to. There were several stinkers, but the thing is, these matches we gave low ratings to. Well, I say stinkers. It's not like they were bad. They just didn't have any time.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't given any time because they're there to move the plot along. They're not there to be good wrestling matches.
Yeah.
Like
that's
the matches,
what I feel like this show was about. It was more about pushing the stories forward instead of worrying about good wrestling matches.
Yeah.
Which I can appreciate.
Yeah, we had the Last Man Standing. We had the main event. We had the tag title match. And then Saturn and Eddie got a little time. So we had like 4 real matches, I'll call them.
Yeah.
And they were all good. Everything that got a little time was good, I thought. But yeah, I'm gonna give it 4.5 bones because I really enjoyed it, and I want to see where these feuds are going, where these stories are going. So he's got me.
He's got
Uh,
me right now too, especially with the filthy animals taking over the show.
yeah, Filthy Animals taking over the show. The Outsiders just like hanging around and fucking with everybody, but also still violent and still attacking people too. They got like two sides to them here. We get to see both sides, so I'm enjoying that. And now,
And then they had Sid with them. Like, are they putting
yeah,
are those three going to be a squad or something? Like that would be vicious right there. Have Sid, pun intended, Sid, Scott, and Kevin,
yeah,
and maybe Jerry. I don't know.
yeah, that would
Put
be
something
cool.
together. Yeah,
I don't know if Sid and the Outsiders go together. I don't know.
I don't know, but I
And
love factions, so yeah, I'm
yeah,
interested.
and and now we got no Hulk Hogan on TV and no Ric Flair on TV. So we're moving forward without those guys. We had Macho Man come back, and I don't know what he's going to do.
He's talking
Uh,
about passing a torch to somebody, but we don't
yeah,
have a clue of who it is.
yeah. I don't remember what he does during this run. If he wrestles, if he shows up and he's never seen again. I don't remember this passing the torch stuff. I don't remember that at all. So I don't know what's going to happen with Macho Man. Like I literally have forgotten. I have no idea. So like you said, it is in ways it's like watching a new wrestling show. It's pretty fun in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because while I remember a lot of things, I don't remember every single thing. Which like to get these shows, you got to see every single thing to get it.
Yep.
Um,
Because like I said, I knew that David Flair had a moment where his character was crazy, but I never remembered of how it started and what led to it. And now I'm starting to see, and it's like, oh, okay. Now I'm seeing
mhm.
where that came from. So yeah, I'm loving this, man. Loving it.
Yeah, because Filthy Animals buried his dad alive in the desert.
That'll do
Mm.
it.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was Nitro. It was weird, but it was fun. Thank you for watching, everybody. We enjoyed talking to you. Everybody who talked to us, Rewind, Eric, uh, the good, what's the name?
The grand standard.
The Grand Strander. Yeah. Um, but yeah.
Yep,
Thank you
yep,
for talking. We appreciate it.
yep.
Um,
You and Mama K doing your thing on Wednesday?
Yep. Wednesday, K Fabulous and I at 6 o'clock. We're doing an AEW weekly, where I give my match ratings, my bone ratings for Dynamite and Collision, which I still haven't watched Dynamite. I'm gonna watch that tomorrow.
Yeah, do that.
Um, but I'm gonna give my ratings for Dynamite and Collision. We do our top five rankings for the men, women, and teams. K Fabulous does her wrestling fashion do's and don'ts. Um, we talk about AEW news. We talk about everything AEW. It's your guide to AEW for the past week. And then we look ahead to Dynamite a little, and we look ahead to All In a little also. So a little of the future too. It's a good show, if I say so myself. If you like AEW, you will like the show. I promise you. That's at 6 o'clock Wednesday, and at 7:55, Switch, Wolf, K Fabulous, and I are doing a watch along for AEW Dynamite. So that'll be fun. And then Thursday, Switch, K Fabulous, and I 6:50. That's 650. We're doing a watch along for WWF King of the Ring '94. You're gonna be there, Switch.
Yep, 94.
Yeah,
Sure
King of the
am.
Ring tournament. It's got 123 Kid, IRS, Mabel, Razor Ramon, Owen Hart, maybe Jeff Jarrett, and two others in it that I can't think of right now. But it's a good tournament. We got Bret Hart versus Diesel for the world title. Bret Hart defending. Main event, I believe, is Jerry the King Lawler versus Roddy Piper. So it's a good show. It's a very good show. If my memory serves me right, I haven't seen it in quite a while, but
I haven't either, but I just know that 93, 94, and 96 has always been my favorite King of the Rings. I've loved King of the Rings.
There you
So
go.
I know it's a good pay-per-view.
Why not 95?
Just can't remember
Switch? Why not 95? Switch?
because I can't remember 95.
Oh,
There
really?
you go.
Oh, I thought because I'll give you my reason for why not 95 is fucking Mabel.
And that might be a good reason why I can't remember it.
King
That's
Mabel.
probably King freaking Mabel. That's probably why.
Wow.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
Wow. But yeah, that's it for us this week. Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, because Collision, it's not on Saturday, it's on Thursday this week. And we're doing our retro watch along instead of Collision. So yeah, just Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Everything I just said about the schedule, it's on our X at No Bones Wrestling. That's at No Bones RASSLIN. Also on X there, I post my wrestling opinions, I post wrestling news, and just interesting stuff I've seen about wrestling. You know, I just post my thoughts about wrestling throughout the day. So check us out there. We're on TikTok at No Bones About Wrestling. I post things on there I don't post anywhere else. I post some different kind of stuff and some reminders about our shows coming up. And then where else are we? We're on YouTube at No
YouTube.
Bones About Wrestling. And K Fabulous's Twitch account. You can see us on there too. So all those places, check us out. I put different stuff, like I said, on TikTok, YouTube, and X. All have different content. I'm not posting the same thing everywhere. So check them out.
That's right.
Switch, you got anything you want to hype?
Yeah, y'all go on to it's No Bones About Wrestling on the X account. Scroll down and find Asa's Mount Rushmore of wrestling and debate them. Just debate them.
Yeah.
Debate them. But that's all I got for y'all, man.
And Rewind here said Chris and Dean Malenko both said in separate interviews the highlight of their career was wrestling the GOAT Taz in ECW. Better than any pay-per-view match, better than any championship they won. Wow, that's something else, Rewind. I think he's making that up. I'm pretty sure.
I don't even know what to say about that.
And Rewind says Jerry the King has the best punch in wrestling next to the GOAT Taz. Jerry King has some great punches. I'd put him up at the top. I would, in no order, I would put Jerry Lawler, Ric Flair, and Bret Hart.
Yeah, I forgot all about Jerry. Jerry did have some good punches. It just, yeah, I agree with that.
Good punches. All right, well, that's it for us tonight. As I said, Wednesday, 6 o'clock, AEW Weekly. Join us. And at 7:55 then, AEW Dynamite Watch Along. So we'll see you Wednesday. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Peace in the Middle East. And use your turn signals, people. Use your turn signals. When you're turning, when you're changing lanes.
Yep.
Use your turn signals. Bye, everybody.
All that good stuff. Bye, y'all. Enjoy your night, Asa.
Yeah, man. You too.